think it's clear today that out of the mouth of our babes, we literally hear the wisdom of God. I'm glad that all of you have come out on this day as we stand on the steps of the community college. I want to make it clear by being here as the president of the North Carolina NAACP, it goes without question when someone were to ask where we stand when it comes to fighting for equity for African American children and poor children. We've got a lot of work to do in those areas in North Carolina, but we're here today to make it clear that we stand in solidarity and in support for equity and justice for the Latino community and for Hispanic persons as well. And that must be made clear not only here in North Carolina, but throughout the South. I want to thank Adelante for gathering us here today and all of you for coming. I want to certainly recognize Al McShirley, our legal redress chair of the North Carolina NAACP, who's with us, and all of the young people that are here today. The light of Christmas, the lights of Christmas, do more than just blink and sparkle, but like a giant spotlight, they expose the glaring contradictions often between what we say and what we do. Such is the case even today when we attempt to say there is no room in the inn or in our schools and community colleges for certain people. We heard that in Luke's gospel when the first story was told about the arrival of Jesus, no room in the inn. Surely there is room, but too often our society or those in political leadership make it our business, like the hotel owner in the scripture, and determine who we will let in based on our political fears or our prejudices. Notice in the scripture that the owner never said that it was illegal to let them in the inn. He didn't say it was unconstitutional for them to come in the inn. He simply said, by his estimation, there was no room for Joseph, Mary, and Jesus. In other words, no room for your kind. Christmas comes with the challenge for us to move away from this kind of detrimental exclusion and begin the process of transformative inclusion. Jesus has come now. Today, people put their hands on the Bible now and accept an oath of office or a term on a board, but too often we are still saying no room. This must change. A true Christmas present right now in North Carolina would be for us to turn away from the ethic of the innkeeper and pick up the ethic of Jesus, which is in the Bible that we put our hands on when we take the oath of office. Instead of saying no room to our Hispanic children and Latino children and other immigrant children when it comes to our community college, we should be saying no limits, open up these doors. We will place no limits on their ability to be educated. Open up these doors. We will place no limits on their ability to grow educationally and contribute to the larger society. Open up these doors. We will say no limits to them pursuing an education. Open up these doors. Who would want to line up on the side of an innkeeper? That's what we do when we deny children educationally, just like he was denying Jesus. And in denying Jesus, he denied hope and he denied healing. We don't know in North Carolina right now who we are denying. The child we are denying might just have within them the answer to cancer if their minds are developed properly. They just might have the cure for AIDS, the ability to feel in the future. We don't know who we're denying. The innkeeper did not know he was denying Jesus. And likewise, we don't know who we're denying, so we must demand open up these doors. But what we must know is that if we are going to be faithful to Christmas, if we're going to match our rhetoric with reality, then it's time for things to change. When speaking of this matter, President-elect Barack Obama said this: We have to stand up for these issues when it's tough. And that's what I've done. I did it when I was in the state legislature, sponsoring the Illinois version of the DREAM Act, so that children who were brought here through no fault of their own are able to go to college, because we actually want well-educated kids in our country who are able to succeed and become a part of this economy and a part of the American dream. Isn't it interesting that during the 80s, our former president, Ronald Reagan, went all the way across the water to Germany and told the Russian president, tear down these walls? Isn't it interesting that Thurgood Marshall went all the way to the Supreme Court and proved that it was detrimental to whites and blacks to have segregation in the United States, and demanded that the process be opened up? But before Thurgood, before Ronald, before Barack Obama came, Jesus came to say to us, tear down our restrictions on the potential and redemptive possibility of humanity. And so in the spirit of Christmas, when it comes to denying Hispanics and Latino children access to community college, in the authority of the one upon whom Christmas is founded, we can say, tear down these rules and open up these doors that do not meet the mandates of our Constitution or the moral foundations of our faith. Move these false rules out of the way. Open up the doors of the inn. Let the children come in. Let our brothers and sisters come in. Be reminded that we are charged by our religion and our public responsibility to be hospitable to the stranger. Open up these doors. Don't just pretend to love Christmas, North Carolina. Let us live out the real meaning of Christmas. Let us give a real gift of liberation and opportunity. Open up these doors. And somebody ought to say, as we move from this place, go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it in the governor's mansion. Go tell it in the General Assembly. Go tell it in the church house. And for God's sake, go tell it to the community college board. Open up these doors and let our children come in. Open up these doors and let our children come in. Open up these doors and let our children come in. Open up these doors and let our children come in. That is our cry. That is what the light of Christmas says, and that is the faith by which we come here today. Now, we have released a letter today to all of the media and to the governor and the governor-elect. We faxed it to them, and we have called on them based on all of the rulings. The Community College Board says that they have more studying to do. Our argument is we need no more studying to do. If there's any studying they need to do, is they need to study Luke chapter 2 and decide during Christmas that they don't want to be on the side of the innkeeper that missed the opportunity to have Jesus in his house. The same way we don't want to miss the opportunity of North Carolina to have these brilliant, bright Hispanic and Latino children who have already made it through our high schools, to be in our colleges, to make North Carolina a better place, to make the South a better place, to make the United States a better place, to make the world a better place. Please open up these doors.